Rich.
Hey, Michael.
And welcome, everybody, to BitPunch Radio episode 062. On tonight's episode, we are going to be talking about Brandon Sanderson's newest book, Tress and of the Emerald Sea, and...
I guess Tress of the Emerald Sea.
Okay, yeah. I want to talk about that a little bit. I'm sure we'll get into it. Talk about some video games, some of the movies, TV we've been up to. Really, like over the past month. Our last episode, we kind of just talked about like our favorites from 2022. So we got a lot to catch up on here. But I gotta tell a little story before we get into the thick of things. We have a movie theater that is. This is gonna go all over the place. Okay, so we have a movie theater that is really close to our house. It's new. It's an escape theater. It's great. It's one of the ones where like you can order like a $10 beer and
See, okay, I've never been to a movie theater like this. I
like
don't
with the
know.
reclining seats and all that.
Nope. Everybody
Really?
tells me about these. I have no idea. Like, I've
Wow.
just been to a Regal. Like,
Yeah.
maybe we have a place here in the town I live in that's
Like an AMC or
no, it's something else now, and I can't even remember the old name of it. It wasn't. I don't think it
Mhm.
was a chain. It might have been. It had to have been a chain. But yeah, I've never been to this mythical
Wow.
beer and wings fucking movie theater.
Yeah. No, I mean you'll spend $50 on like a popcorn and a soda and things like that, but the
Right.
reclining seats are nice. So anyway, unfortunately, there was a shooting recently at ours.
Mm.
Crime is for some reason rampant around here. And then last night, my neighbor texted us and there's like, hey, there's like 15 cops at this movie theater. So we're like, damn, is there another shooting taking place? Like, that's crazy. So my wife downloads like a police scanner, and then we have an antenna. One of the it's just like this little flat thing, and we can like pretty much just like chuck it towards the window, and we'll get a
Right.
signal, right? And so we do this last night, just seeing if we can like figure out what's going on around us, and just lo and behold, the Golden Globes is on. Did I
Oh
had
boy.
I had no idea that the Golden Globes would be on, and we kind of got sucked into it for a little
I
bit. So
I was watching. I saw highlights of the Golden Globes
yeah,
last night, and I said to myself, "The motherfucker's watching these things." I can tell you right now,
really,
he's watching these
I
things. Yeah,
had
I did.
I
I
had
swear to
no
God.
idea. We just happened
Swear to God.
to turn you up a little bit. We just happened to stumble into it, and damn man, if I wouldn't say that is just an awful experience. The host was really bad. There was like a big scandal that the Golden Globes is either going through or went through last year about racism and things. And so the host was just like nonstop talking about that. So it was really weird. There was like this clash of like the Golden Globes suck, but here we are. They're paying me $500,000 to host this thing. He's doing an awful job at it. But then in between, like these people are trying to give these heartfelt speeches of like,
Right.
how creative they were able to be, like making this movie. And so it was just the emotions were really, really wild trying to watch this thing. We got maybe 45 minutes into it and was just like this. It was terrible, but it's just so weird. Like the back and forth of like the Golden Globes is terrible. I'm going to give this heartfelt speech. Aren't we doing amazing things over here? Steven Spielberg, I swear, I've seen him probably a dozen times. People get banned left and right because they keep saying the F word on live TV. And I guess if you do, you get banned. So Jennifer
Okay, fine.
so Jennifer Coolidge, she's incredible, but she won an Oscar, I believe, for The White Lotus, which is a show that we just started watching. And she dropped like 2 F-bombs. She's banned. Like she just can't go back. It's just so funny, but it was such a cluster. And like people make fun of like the video game awards for what they are, and I get that, but I don't think like the Golden Globes or those, like, I don't think they're any better.
No,
Um,
the Game Awards this year were pretty legit. Yeah,
yeah, right.
yeah.
Did we even get to talk about the video game? No, we
We
did,
did.
right? Okay. Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
did. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So just a wild tangent aside, we tried to watch the Golden Globes last night because I was like, hey, we watched like 3 movies last year. I'm sure that there is some stuff we missed, but I don't really know. But no, it couldn't hold our interest at all. It was absolute trash. Um, so what do you want to tackle first? What do we want to dive into?
Um, let's talk about games first.
Okay.
Um,
You have a lot of
yeah.
stuff on here, so
For me, I have a lot of stuff. Yeah,
right.
I'm typically not a person that goes and plays a whole bunch of things. I typically grab, one or two things and kind of uh, play them until I'm either tired of them or I beat them.
I see
Um,
something
but
missing that I'm upset about, but
okay. Um, what is it?
it's Neon White. Why aren't you still playing Neon White?
Okay, I did play that,
Okay.
but only for like 20
All
minutes.
right.
Nothing. I'm still plugging that. I will be playing that for the foreseeable future, like in
Great.
20-minute chunks, like couple levels, and then I'm
Yeah,
done.
buy a Steam Deck. It plays really well on that.
Yeah, yeah. So I started Vampire Survivors.
All right.
Um, Finally fell into the peer pressure of that. Um, Man, you should have told me that Vampire Survivors is basically Geometry Wars pacifism. Because if you would
Okay.
have told me that, I would have started playing it a long time ago. Because
I
that's exactly what that game is.
Is that a mode within Geometry
That
Wars?
is a mode
Because
in Geometry Wars.
I don't have a
So
lot of experience with Geometry Wars.
yeah, so Geometry Wars was a Xbox
Yeah.
exclusive game, and it was like a top-down. You were a little ship, and these little orbs would come at you.
Right.
And in most of the modes, you would have guns and different types of weapons that you would shoot at them, kind of like asteroids. And it was very like visually cool. Like it had a lot of lights and flashing and stuff like that, kind of like Super Stardust or something like that.
Was your ship
Um,
always in the center of the screen, or could it move?
oh, I don't remember that.
Because that's like a big
Um,
thing with Vampire Survivors. Like your guy's like dead center, or girl
right.
or whatever.
I don't think it was. I think it kind of shifted because there was like a play field in
Mm.
Geometry Wars. It wasn't infinite. But there's a mode in Geometry Wars called pacifism where you can't fire a gun. And so you're just weaving in and out of all these orbs to get to these
Oh.
bombs. And when you get to a bomb, they explode, and then you had to go and collect all the beads to then get powered up,
Mm.
and then get more bombs. And then it was exactly like Vampire Survivors, where you're moving around. All the weapons are auto, and you're trying to collect these little gems to level up. Um, Man, that game is fucking hard. I
Yeah.
have still not I've still not beaten the first level. I have not
Yeah.
gotten to 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Um, I'm still like the like progression gating, like how much money, like coins you need is
Hmm.
pretty high.
Yeah.
Especially at the beginning where it's just like, oh, you're just not gonna get past this one part where all the skeletons come. Like you're
Right.
just going to die. And then you have to keep doing that and dying there over and over again.
Or the
Until
plants
you get enough money.
slowly enclosing in on you. I
Yeah,
love
and you
it.
just can't kill the plants, like, they're indestructible for me right now,
Right.
basically. Um, but as you keep going and as you get more powerful, it's good. It's good. It's good. Makes you feel real good. Um,
It's got that progression to it. That
yeah,
like, yeah, I need that. I want to feel a little stronger each time I play it.
right, right. And that would probably be its one weakness. It's a little slow on that front,
Hmm.
making you kind of feel stronger and more powerful. But it does get there if you can stick with it. Um, yeah, it's a great little game.
Are
The
you
other game
like
I've been
fully, hold on. Sorry. So okay, two things. First, do you remember us streaming it last year for like a grab
yeah,
bag? Cuz we did like
yep.
a one run and you were just like, "What is this?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm telling you, like there's something here
Yeah.
about this." And I
I don't know
still play it.
why I don't know why I didn't put it together then what it was.
Hmm.
I must have just been not interested
I
in it. I
think
don't
I
know.
was like, we had something way cooler, at the time to play it. So I was just like, let me just shove this in here real quick. And like, I
Yeah.
wasn't batting high because I like the last one was like Super Auto Pets or something, which you were not a fan of at all. So I'm like, come on, hear me out. I got a good one here. Um, when you play it, are you like in it, or is it a multitask game for you?
Oh god, no. I can't do anything else. Like I have to
Okay.
sit down and finish it.
Oh, okay.
I can't like walk away and come back
You're
or
not
like
like
watch a
listening to a
podcast or
podcast.
like listen to a pod. Nope,
Oh,
nope, nope,
okay.
nope. I
So you're
gotta be
hearing
in it.
the do 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 do
Oh
do.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yep,
Okay. All right.
yep, yep.
Yeah, good game. Good game. I've got
It
maybe
it is.
30
It
hours
is.
into it and I still play it from time to time.
um okay, so the other game I've been playing is called Roller Drome.
Okay.
Uh the best way to describe that is it's Tony Hawk
Hmm.
but with rollerblades and there's guns.
Hmm.
So you're doing very Tony Hawk kind of things. You're in like a skate park area, doing tricks and stuff. The kind of backdrop to this is you're like in the far flung future, and there's this big tournament where your character is trying to win, and the whole tournament is there's these levels, and you have these people with like these like big heavy guys with rocket launchers and snipers that you're trying to dodge, and dudes with bats that are all over the skate park. And your goal is to basically run it and kill everybody as fast as possible, and try to keep a
Hmm.
combo meter going while you're doing tricks and stuff. And the only way to reload your gun is to do tricks and to like score
Oh,
points.
jeez.
So you're constantly like going up and down like verts and over ramps and like doing tricks. And then it has the like Max Payne slow mo, like when you pull the left trigger, where it'll slow down. So you'll be like midair doing some grab to like reload, and then you'll pull left trigger, like unload dual pistols into a dude, and then keep going. And then like it starts throwing different types of enemies at you. It's hard. Like it gets hard pretty quick,
So the fact
because you
that
can't
it
just go and shoot. Like you got to do tricks and keep your combo up, and
right.
yeah.
So the fact that it's got a slowdown mechanic, it's not multiplayer, right?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't
Okay.
think so. No, no, I don't think so.
So,
Um,
like, could you
we
be in the middle of like shooting people and then be like, "Oh shit, I got to skate off and like pull a 720, and then you
yeah,
then you get back to the fight?"
yep, yep. And like the snipers have like a red laser, and like when the laser turns white, you can dodge, and so like that'll interrupt your trick. You can do
Oh.
that like mid anything. So you'll be like I'll go over a ramp, go into slow mo, unload my pistol. It's like, oh, I'm out. There's now a sniper on me, so I gotta like dodge, and then I gotta go up this other ramp and do this other trick so I can reload the weapon, and then go back and like kill the sniper, and it like throws more waves, like they like more
Mm,
spawn in, and so you're basically working through this level progression. I'm not quite through the first set of like 4 arenas yet,
okay.
but that's really fun, especially if you like Tony Hawk.
Yeah, I
It's
love Tony
very
Hawk.
very similar, like very like the tricks and like the way you do all that is very similar to that game. Um, I don't know what like as a shooter to compare it to. It's like a timed like run based shooter. I don't know.
Like Neon White?
No, not quite.
Okay.
Because Neon White's more of like a level runner, and this is not that. Like you can like totally blow by a guy and miss him, and then you're just like, oh, I just got to turn
Oh,
around and go
okay.
back the other
Okay.
way. It's not that like perfectionist.
Is it telling a
Um,
story?
there's a little bit of one.
Okay.
I haven't gotten super far. I think I've beat 3 of the 4 initial levels. Um, but yeah, it looks really cool. It kind of looks like it's got like a cell shaded look, kind of like that Sable game that was
Oh,
really
sure.
popular
Okay.
last year.
Yeah.
It looks very similar to that, kind of that cell shaded. I actually like its art style better than Sable, to be
Mm.
honest. Um, it's really cool. I like that game quite a bit. Um, I like to stream it. I think it'd be a good game to kind of do a little
Yeah, you should.
20-minute stream of, like do a couple runs.
We should
Um,
do like a grab bag, like a Sunday night,
yeah,
and I've got something on here I've been playing lately. I can bring to the table. So
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
shit, we could always play some more Darktide, man. You don't have Darktide on here either.
Yeah, I think I did one level in Darktide. Nothing really new to talk about there.
We haven't talked about it.
Oh, I haven't talked about it at all. Okay.
No.
No, I thought we did. Maybe it was during the stream. I think it
Yeah,
was during the
yeah.
stream.
We
Yeah,
did
yeah,
stream
yeah. We did
Darktide.
stream. Yeah, we did stream Darktide. Yeah, I played a lot of Darktide over the holidays. And here in the first part of the year, I'm playing a psyker who's like the magic
Mm-hmm.
fucking Warhammer guy. I don't know anything about Warhammer. It's That's a pretty fun game. I like it better. We both seem to like it better than Back for Blood.
Yeah.
It's definitely that type of game. Um, it A lot of the PC issues they had in the beginning seem to be somewhat solved. It runs pretty decent. Um, I'm really bad at jumping over bridges. Other than that,
No,
it's a fun game. I
you're
mean,
bad at
it
landing on a bridge. Like you can
landing
jump
on a
you
bridge.
can jump near a bridge
Yeah,
pretty well, but
yeah, near keyword there. Um, but it gets hectic, man, and it requires a lot of teamwork with the people it matches you up with.
I did successfully
Um,
complete a level 2, so I was pretty proud of that. Um,
yeah.
I had the least amount of kills, so I didn't contribute much, but we got through it, and it was
Yeah,
it was nice.
yeah, yeah. That game's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I will probably keep playing it. That's kind of got the same problem as Vampire Survivors. The progression is kind of
Yeah,
meh. Like it's really slow, and I feel like what I'm getting isn't great.
yeah,
There definitely needs to be more stuff in there.
yeah. I'm playing the
As
preacher, and I don't like his special, like his
right,
like a Destiny. My special is I could man, it's a good feeling. But the special I have with my guy where the preacher kind of rushes in and he gets some stat bonuses, but it's just it's just missing something. So I'm
yeah,
hoping, once you start unlocking, they're not called boons, they're called something else, but
feats.
yeah, feats. Those 3 different feats. I'm hoping that it can start making me feel a little powerful because I feel pretty weak, honestly, but I'm also just level 7 right now. So,
Right.
um,
Yeah. As much as all games are Destiny now,
yeah,
that game could gain a little bit from being more like Destiny.
yeah, exactly. I agree.
Yeah. Um. Let's see here. I did start Disco Elysium. I picked that up on the
Yeah.
Steam sale.
Okay.
That's one of the like really beloved kind of traditional RPGs that came out. I think in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Um. I'm only about 30 or 40 minutes into that. I wanted to kind of start it to kind of see what am I getting into. Seems like it's going to be pretty cool. It's got a
Oh, all right.
really good like sense of humor.
Okay.
Um, I think that game would be a fun game to like do a full playthrough of. It would be a really like on a stream. Like I think
Sure.
it would be a really big undertaking because I think that game's like 30 or 40
It's
hours.
long, right?
Yeah, and depending on like how it ends up rolling out for you. Um, but yeah, just a little bit I've played is it seems like it would be fun to stream and fun to kind of make because you're making a bunch of decisions and making a bunch of checks on different dice rolls. Like it literally puts dice on the screen.
Mm.
Yeah.
So they did a update like a couple years after the release, and they have like full voice acting now. So when
Yes.
the people that originally played that game, they had to read it all, which is fine. I mean, we both love to read. But how's the voice acting that they added?
It's really good.
Okay.
So far, it's really good. Your character doesn't talk
Oh, okay.
that I've seen thus far. Um, but yeah, anybody you're talking to does talk.
So are you playing one of the 2 people from the cover?
Yeah, my guy. Yeah, my guy's
Okay.
the one that looks like Kane or Lynch, whichever one.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy, the
Yeah.
big guy with like the long hair.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and
Okay.
you like pick a certain what archetype you want to be and like different stats, like very very RPG in the
Mm.
beginning, but it's the same guy. You're just picking like what version of him are you going to play?
Oh,
Like
okay.
a super smart ass version or like a big bully guy or
What'd you
like
choose?
I picked a smart. You can actually create your own. I did create my own and put it into like more intelligence type stuff
I
and
tend to
not
go for
physical.
that too. Like I want to be able to
Yeah,
talk my way out of shit if I have to.
right. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm very early into that. I'm gonna try to play that here over the next couple months. Pretty
Yeah.
pretty into what I've played so far.
I bought it because it's deck verified, but I also hear it's not a good deck game. Like
Mm.
it's one that you want to sit at a computer at and play because of keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, it is a little um oh man, what's the word I'm looking for? Like Norco or like
Mm.
what's that genre of games? Like a
Like a point and click adventure.
like a point and click adventure. Yeah, you're having to walk up to stuff and like click on it.
Okay.
Um and like I guess the very first thing you do is you like wake up fucking hungover in your room and you're like trying to find all your clothes, and that's kind of how the game kind of teaches you how to move around and click all the stuff.
Hmm.
And your tie is on the ceiling fan, and one of the checks is like, and the ceiling fan is going round and round, and your tie's on one of the fan blades, and it's like you click on the fan, it's like, all right, what do you want to do? Grab the tie, pull the long string, or pull the short string? And I was like, oh, I'll just grab the tie, and so I grab it, and it's like, oh, you failed because the fan was moving. Like you needed to shut the fan off and then get the tie
Okay.
down. Like that's a good example of like what that game is looking for. And I was like, oh, okay, okay.
Gotcha. Okay.
I need to think about this a little bit more
Right.
before I make these decisions about,
Yeah.
oh, I'll just grab that tie off this moving ceiling fan.
I love that you
Yeah.
put all your stats in intelligence, and then you're just like, just grab the tie.
Yeah. I've got good reflexes. That guy
Right.
didn't because
Yeah.
he's hungover. Um,
Right.
yeah. Uh, and it seems to have a style so far. Like
Okay.
I feel
Yeah.
like
I
it's gonna
love
have
that.
style. Yeah, yeah,
Norco would have been shit if it didn't have that style to it. That style and humor like made that game for me. But
yeah, yeah. And then the last thing I've been playing is I did play some of the Modern Warfare 2 co-op missions that they released a few months ago, or
okay,
about a month ago, kind of right before the holidays.
that that wasn't available at launch.
No, no.
What is with companies just neglecting co-op at launch?
It wasn't that long after. I mean, it's multiplayer games, so I
That's
mean,
true. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Is Halo
But these are
co-op?
like co-op mission. That's out now.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Huh.
I have not tried it
We
yet.
should play that. Sorry. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. But the Modern Warfare 2 co-op missions are like these little 30-minute to an hour long. Really, they're not supposed to be that long even. Little chunks of missions. It's not the campaign.
What
So
was that
it's like a
called in
scenario.
old Modern Warfare? Like Spec Ops or
Spec
something?
Ops. Yeah,
Yeah.
Spec
Yeah.
Ops.
Yeah.
It's that.
Those were
Yeah, it's
fun.
that. Those are fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
and these are fun. Yeah,
Okay.
they are pretty fun. There's like one where you get with a sniper, and one where it's actually a pretty fun one where one of you is on the ground, and one of you's in a chopper gunner,
Hmm.
and you're like providing. You're having to kind of work together to like move through this battlefield and do some shit. Um, it's pretty hard though. It's
Mm.
pretty intense. Yeah. Um, Not much else to say about that. I haven't played any more like multiplayer for Modern Warfare or anything like that. Um, yeah, that's the games that I've been playing.
Okay.
Before we move on, though,
All right.
I've got to go a little Brandon Sanderson on you here.
Oh, okay.
It's time for me to come clean. I've been lying to you.
What?
Yep, been lying to you. Every one of those games that I played, other than Modern Warfare, I played on one of these.
Holy shit! Wow. Dude,
Steam Deck.
I was wondering why are you playing all these these indie games?
I have been keeping the secret to do this exact thing right now. And I thought to
Holy
myself,
shit.
he's gonna see right through my bullshit.
I
Like he's
dude,
gonna look at these games I'm playing. He's gonna go, "That motherfucker bought a Steam Deck." Like,
it was a very random assortment of games for you to play. Wow. Which one did you get?
I got the 512.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the big boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got it last Wednesday. Yeah. So I played Vampire Survivors, Roller Drum, and Disco Elysium on the deck.
How are you
Yeah.
liking Disco Elysium on the deck then?
I will say, to kind of not have to circle around for my own pleasure. Um, it is a little weird, like clicking on this stuff.
Sure.
It makes you kind of use like the right trigger, or you can use the little mouse trackpad thing.
They're not the
Um,
best, but I get it. I do use them from time to
yeah,
time, but
it works okay. But as far as the game, I mean, every game I've played runs really well.
yeah,
Um,
right.
like Vampire Survivors, obviously, but
Sure.
Rollerdrome is a little bit more graphically intensive. Like everything runs at 60, everything, no real hiccups. Like, dude, this thing is fucking awesome. Like I couldn't take it anymore. Like I told my wife, I was like, I gotta buy one of these fucking things. I can't, like, it just seems too fucking cool. And immediately when I got it, and just like you sign into your Steam, and it's just like, oh, yep, here's all your shit.
Oh yeah.
And it's just the feel of it, like it's so much lighter than I expected it to be.
Right.
Um, Now I will say my two gripes with this thing are the battery life is not very good,
Hmm.
which we know, and the screen could probably be better. It's not it's not great,
Yeah.
but for how small it is and for what it's attempting to do, I think it's fine.
Right.
Um, I think if they, when they make a Deck 2 or a whatever 2.0, I think that'll be probably one of the things that they upgrade, will be like maybe like an OLED screen or
Yeah.
something like that. 'Cause it does have a lot of light leak, um,
Yes.
in it, but it's also, you know, I think you kind of take it for granted sometimes because everybody has a cell phone, and anybody that's got an Apple cell phone now has an OLED screen on it.
Hmm.
But those things are like $1,200. Just
Yeah.
nobody knows it because you don't go and pay $1,200 for them.
Right. Yeah.
So you look at this screen, you're like, this doesn't look as good as my phone. But then you're like, well, that twice as much money,
Right.
and this is a twice as big screen. Um, but no, man, I mean it is so fucking cool. Like just being able
I
to
love
sit
it.
down and play games and not have to sit at my computer.
I feel
Obviously there's
super safe. I do it all the time, but I'll be in the middle of playing like Potion Permit, middle of the day. So like think of turning off your device in the middle of playing Stardew Valley. I hit the little button and it does the deck
yep,
thing where it's just like,
yep,
okay,
with
we're
that little
good.
yep,
We're good.
yep,
Go about your day. And I'll go to
yep,
turn it on. It's just like, here you go. It the pause state of it hasn't failed me yet.
yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, and just all the different settings and like performance stuff you can do with it. Um, it has I was really impressed by the way it feels, just the
Yeah.
build quality of it. Um,
I'm so happy for you.
yeah, yeah, man, I couldn't take it anymore. I totally was. I just
You've been
completely.
sitting on that for a
Uh,
week now. Holy shit.
yeah, man, it killed me. I wanted to like text pictures like as soon as it came in, and like I was like, nope, nope, nope. I got to do this. I got to do this reveal thing. But no, man, it's awesome. I will say, for whatever reason, my AirPods will not hook up to this thing, and
Oh
when I do
wow.
get them
Okay.
hooked up, it just sounds like shit. Like it sounds staticky. So there is
Hmm.
something either with the AirPods or this thing, and I actually seen it online because I was like, is something broken? But that's like a normal thing. So don't try to hook your AirPods Pro
Okay.
up to this thing. Um, doesn't get too hot. It's not too. I mean, it can get hot. It's not
Yeah.
super loud, but I mean,
When I was
it's
playing Tales of Arise, that fan kicked into overdrive.
yeah. I mean,
Um,
it'll spin up and start chugging, but
yeah.
it it keeps moving. I downloaded The Witcher
Yeah.
and just like let's just see what this thing will do. And it ran at like 40 frames a second. I mean, it looked fine. Like
Which
you
is
could
good.
totally play some Witcher on there. I
Yeah.
mean, I, it's but for like games like Vampire Survivors and Rollerdrome and Disco Elysium, um, Disco Elysium might be a little more enjoyable on the computer, but like just to sit down for like 30 minutes, like after the kids go to bed, and I've just had a blast
That's
doing
awesome,
that.
man.
And like get home from work and like, oh, I've got 15 minutes. Fuck it, let's
Yep.
do a Vampire Survivors run or something. Um, yeah, yeah, it's great.
That's so
Great,
cool.
great piece of software. Great soft. I think the software too, like the build quality of it, and then the Steam OS built into there
Yeah.
is fucking super good,
Yep.
super good.
Great on deck. I think that URL that's gonna like they're testing that. That'll be the new store.steam powered will look like that. It's just they're using that as like a beta, I guess, or what I hear.
Yeah.
Gosh, yeah, cool, man. I'm so happy. I'm so happy you got one.
Great. It's
Yeah, I
great.
love it. Like
Yeah.
I've been it sucks because like when I first got it, I didn't pick up my Kindle at all. I would just like,
So this is why I haven't finished Tress yet. So
oh,
yeah,
okay, all
I've
right,
been
yeah.
playing that fucking thing.
Have you
Yeah.
tried playing it on your bike?
No, that would be a little. That would be a little hard.
So you,
I probably could.
yeah, yeah. I think you probably ride your bike a little more hardcore than like me just walking on the treadmill. I tried walking on the treadmill and playing it. No, I kept
Yeah.
like almost stepping off of it. I'm like, nah, I can't do this.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
And
I got some travel to do this year, so I was like,
okay, good.
I got some plane rides I'm gonna do, and we're going to fucking Gen Con, and I'm gonna have a Steam Deck, and it's gonna be fucking awesome.
I know,
Can't wait.
I know, man. Like, I know it's like, hey, woe is me. Had to go to Vegas for work, but man, just having that Steam Deck, I who needs to gamble?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No
who
kidding.
cares?
Yeah.
I don't like
Yeah.
people. Everybody's smoking in there. Fuck it. I want to go back to my room and just play some neon white.
Yep.
Damn, that was a good reveal.
Yep.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah. I've been playing that for a while.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I finished Symphony of War. That was a game that you recommended to me. I think we covered that pretty extensively on the last podcast, but I did finish it since then. Really cool game. I completely played High on Life, which is the
Okay.
Justin Roiland game, which is the Rick and Morty creator, and the Solar Opposites, I think, is his other show that he's known for. So he has a company. So he did the Rick and Morty. He, as in his company, Squanch Games, I think is what their name is. They did the Rick and Morty VR, which is actually highly regarded. I guess it was like a good VR game to play through. And then this game released on Game Pass. It's a full release. It's a $60 game. And it's actually one of the top downloads of Game Pass. It was one of the highest played games on Game Pass in 2022, which is crazy because my takeaway from it is it's very mediocre.
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
thought it was fine. I felt compelled to beat it, only because I wanted to see some of the ridiculous stuff that would happen. I think like I enjoyed South Park: The Stick of Truth and the other one like more. I thought its humor was good. I think this one it it has some really good moments. You won't play the game. I don't care to
Yeah.
to ruin this part, but um there's just there's some really good moments. Like there is one of the last boss fights you're actually tripping, and it's a very psychedelic boss fight. That was really cool. Um there's a really good bit where you're carrying guns, and these guns all have personalities to them, and they are voiced by different actors. So you only have four different weapons. um
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you end up, spoiler, you do end up getting like a fifth one. But it's completely ridiculous. I mean, it is like off the rails. The humor is pretty good. I might say like it made me laugh pretty hard, maybe every 45 minutes. So over the span of like 8 hours, it probably had a good dozen bits or something that I really liked. There's a pretty good bit of trying to pronounce the word Marlboro, like the cigarette company. Um, he tries to say it. This gun that you're holding tries to say it like 10 times. And you're just like, oh my gosh, would you stop? There's like a little pause, and then he starts trying again, and it was just like the comedic timing of that was, I was cracking up like just watching this
Yeah.
stupid gun try to pronounce that. um Pretty good game. I gave it a 7. Thought it was fine. I think if you like that type of humor, you may think it's a little better. If you just hate his type of comedy, then there's nothing here for you. It's a mediocre shooter wrapped inside of Justin Roiland's brain. So if you find him funny, check it out. It's pretty good. It was on Game Pass, and it's short, which I appreciate. Now the complete opposite of that, in terms of length, is Potion Permit. That game came out last year also. It
Yep.
is a Stardew Valley like. I can't call it a farming sim because you do not farm in this game at all. You are a chemist and you make potions and heal people. It is a lot like Stardew, where you one of the main things you're doing is like building relationships with like the 30 plus people in this town. You're rebuilding the town. I have over 20 hours in this game right now, and I'm close to the
Whoa.
end. I want this fucking game to end, and it just won't.
Oh.
I've looked at a walkthrough to try and figure out how do I roll credits, because I'm being stubborn. For some reason, I won't just walk away from it. I have to see
Right.
credits. I don't care to do 100% of everything. So there was this thing where it's like, hey, there are sections in the town that are run down. There's one that it's a shape of a moon, and it's got like two people entwined. I know it means like I need to get married, so then this will get rebuilt. So there's 6 different characters that you can romance in this game. I chose the pirate woman. I don't
Okay.
know why. I just did. Um, and like, hey, me and you are gonna get married. I give her the moon brooch, and she's like, before you marry me, you have to go and catch this fish, which takes this
Oh no.
advanced fishing rod. Fishing in this game fucking sucks. I've neglected to do it. So for about 2 hours, Rich, I've just fished to try and level up my fishing, so I can catch this stupid fish. I did it. Was able to then give her this stupid fish that she wanted, and she's like, well, now you can date me. We can't get married. We can just date.
Oh
So
boy.
now I'm doing this thing, Rich, where I go to bed at like noon because I'm just ready for the next day. I go and date her, and then I go back in this, and I can't end it. There's a walkthrough that
Mm,
exists, and even the walkthrough's like, I'm not sure how I finished this game. It's just at some point, as I was doing my tasks, because it's one of those games, you just have a shitload of tasks to do. It's
right.
like at some point, it ended. Like I just did the perfect task, but I don't know how I got there. I don't know how this game ends. I just want it to be over. I enjoyed.
You could just stop playing
I
it,
can't stop.
you know.
I'm already this far. I have to finish it. I'm no longer enjoying my time with this game, Rich, but I can't stop.
Yeah.
Um I don't know what I'm going to play after this. I have The Witcher. I have Control. I have Disco Elysium. Uh, Ashley, my wife, we want to play a couple of the point and click adventure games like Hobbs Barrow and The Golden Idol. And I want her to play the Stanley Parable. So there's some stuff that we're going to stream together. Um, and it'll probably be Control. That is installed on the deck. If I put it on low, it runs pretty well. So that'll probably be my next game. I just wasn't for sure if I'll get the same, you know, headphones on, locked in, versus playing on a little tiny screen without ray
I
tracing. Like,
yeah, I mean that the ray tracing stuff does definitely help with that. That game is all about atmosphere
right. So that's
and
why I was like,
like
I don't know if
it's like a good TV show. Like you got to be in it. Like you definitely want to have the headphones on and be playing it and
okay.
like paying attention. You know, it's not something you're gonna play while you're listening to something else.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So it might be, it might be The Witcher. Like maybe I'd try again to get right back into that one. You told me I can transfer my save. I looked up how to do that. Looks like you just got to log into GOG and it'll just do
Yeah.
that for you. So, um, yeah, that might be it. That that's it for me with games. Again, hopefully tomorrow night we will start the Case of the Golden Idol. We've just had some personal stuff keep getting in the way. So okay, well, that was a lot.
There's a
Um,
lot.
you want to talk about Tress?
Yeah, let's talk about Tress.
All right.
Yeah.
So, if you like Google or so I finished Tress, um, and was looking up just like a couple things about it, and like even today, people on TikTok when they create content, even though it's all out there, they still call it secret book number one, and they're doing
Yeah, so
that
that yeah,
because
that
because of
yeah, go ahead.
spoilers.
Yes. Yes.
So I guess it's like it's still, even though like I know you can't find it in a bookshelf or like a bookstore, but if you go to Amazon, is it going to be listed as Tress or is it
Yes.
okay?
Yes. Yeah, so this was a Reddit problem. Um
Okay.
the Brandon Sanderson subreddit got really mad because he's going to release these books through Amazon and Tor and like all like normal publishers, right?
Hmm.
And they go on sale. I think now. I think today was the day that they go on sale for like normal people.
Oh, okay.
I sent you like a YouTube video where he like announced
Mm.
like, hey, Secret Project One's out, and
I did
when
watch
he's
that with
been
the keyboard
Mhm.
breaking and stuff. That was pretty good.
Yes, and then he grabs a new one. Yeah, it's great.
Out of the big
Uh,
pile.
yeah, because he himself has been referring to them as still the secret projects
Okay.
to avoid people that didn't want to be spoiled until like they got, especially the backers. But now today, he like in the video it called it,
Right.
Tress of the Emerald Sea. So now you can use that title, I guess,
Okay.
depending on what
Yeah.
your religion is. I don't know.
Sure. Right.
Yeah, yeah. So you finished it.
Yeah.
I'm about 60% of the way through.
Okay.
Um, I like it quite a bit so far.
Okay.
Um, it's sprinkling in. It's a Cosmere book,
Hmm.
so it's in the same universe as Mistborn and Warbreaker and Stormlight and Emperor's Soul and all those other books. Um, it's definitely he's definitely sprinkling in um, some crossover stuff. Um, specifically because of who is narrating the book.
Right.
So the whole book is narrated by Hoyd, which is a
Let's go
recurring
ahead and say
character.
like we will probably spoil some of this book. So,
Yeah, I'm not gonna go too far.
right. Okay.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so yeah, Hoyd is the narrator, which is great. I love Hoyd. I love like the way that he writes Hoyd. I feel like Hoyd is him, like his kind of evil.
Yeah.
Like you have the angel and the devil, and I feel like Hoyd is kind of his angel and devil, like in his writing voice. So I always love when Hoyd is a part of anything. Um, it's pretty good. That world is fucking terrifying.
Yeah, it
There's
doesn't
shit
it
everywhere
doesn't
that'll
make
just fucking
sense.
kill you. Yeah, just fucking kill you in a heartbeat. Um, but it definitely leans into his strengths, right? Like it's a little group of people that are all gonna like intertwine and a lot of character building and like world building. So it's very much a Brandon Sanderson book.
Hmm.
It's not anything that you wouldn't expect if you've read any of his other books. Um, but yeah, there's definitely, if you've read any of his other books, if you've read Mistborn, for sure, there's some stuff in there about Mistborn. There's some stuff in there about Stormlight. Um,
I guess
yeah,
there's a
so
big
far
thing
I really
about
like it.
Warbreaker, which I haven't read that yet.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. Um, I'm a little more cold on this book. I gave it 3 stars. Um, I like Tress as a character. I actually didn't care for Hoyd's character. I do like how he narrates it, but his character, uh, is
He's not himself
right.
for
Okay,
most
thank
of the
you.
book.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
kind of. I think Brandon Sanderson like has a lot of strengths, but I don't think humor is a particularly good one. I think he can be witty, but I just sometimes it's just like it kind of lands flat with me. Um, and I think some of that could have been cleaned up, or maybe like another pass at it or something. Um, also, like, most of the book kind of takes place in one location.
Yep.
And I was kind of hoping for like a little more of that. Um, and I think the supporting cast was kind of fell flat for me too.
Oh
Um,
man, really?
yeah, like I liked a couple of them, but um, I don't know. Maybe they just didn't get to explore them too much. It's a shorter book,
Yeah.
and you can only do so much with that. Um, I didn't really like Charlie. um, I
Okay.
mean, uh, and I don't want to. I think like next episode when you finish it, I would like to talk about the ending because there's some stuff that happens there, that I wasn't the biggest fan of. I think overall, I still enjoyed the book. I would probably try to get my kids to read it. Maybe not my son. Um, my son, I showed him the Ant-Man trailer, not to get off track here, but I showed him the Ant-Man trailer, and he got completely freaked out of, if you haven't seen it yet, there's a scene where Ant-Man gets sucked into like a group of people, and I think we scarred Max,
Oh
taking him
no.
to go see Wreck-It Ralph 2. So like Wreck-It Ralph is like his favorite movie, but the second
Okay.
movie, if you haven't seen it, at the end there's like a monster Wreck-It Ralph made out of tiny Wreck-It Ralphs, or like normal size Wreck-It Ralphs, and it like completely freaked him out. So now,
Really?
like,
Okay.
anytime that he sees something like that, it's almost like it's deep in there, and he's just like, I'm not. So I was like, hey, we haven't seen a movie since uh Thor. I was
Right.
like maybe this will be the one, before we go see Mario. And he's like, as soon
Right.
as he's seen Ant-Man getting sucked into, he was just like, no, he goes, we can wait till that comes at home. Like, oh, that's sure, that's fine. I don't want to take you.
Yeah.
I don't want to spend $14 on a ticket and then like have you freaked out. Anyway,
Right. Right.
um, like you mentioned in Tress that this world is terrifying, and it is because you get a drop of water on something and you could have shit spurting out of your body. It's that part is cool. I really liked The Rock, and I thought mm, I can't I can't go into too much of it because I don't know if this has been even talked about, because it's telling a very it's telling a story that we're all used to. It's actually
Right.
modeled off of something that exists. But I don't know if that's been shared or not. Uh, it's in the author note in the back of the book, so it's like you have to read it to get to the author note to understand like what this type of book is. Um, so I think it might be a little too spoilery, so I'll skip that. Let's talk about that definitely when you finish it. Um, but Tress herself, cool character. I think it falls flat a little bit for me, but still, I would tell my kids they should read that. And I'm looking forward to the next Secret Project. Um, I There's some really good videos out there where people who are completely intertwined with the Cosmere has done like these, and I get sucked into that even watching like a new Marvel movie where it's just like what are all the
Right.
hidden Easter eggs. And yes, you caught something that may be a spoiler, that you were texting me about. um there's a couple things that I've seen that's like, oh, I didn't know that, but and yes, it was a spoiler to me, but now like I want to read Warbreaker even more, based off
Right.
of this book. um so I think it's Warbreaker. What's his other big one that he did with the
Emperor's
sisters?
Soul.
Okay, so
Uh, or Elantris.
Elantris, that's the one. There's a
Okay.
big tie-in with Elantris in this book.
Okay.
So um
Yeah. We'll see in the beginning, and I think it was the last episode. Um, maybe was it the last episode? I don't remember. Um, But in the beginning of that book, it says that she's Iriali.
Yes, which
And I was
is
like, oh, well, they're on Roshar. Like they're
right.
mentioned a bunch in Stormlight. And then I come to find out it's not on that planet. And I was like, oh, okay. So there's some shit going on.
God,
People are moving around,
you gotta
you know.
finish
So
it.
that I put that. I mean, I've got some other stuff that I figured out, and I've got some theories um, about what I think is going on. Um, I'll just say this: I think Huck is Charlie. I've hit a point where in the book where I think it's telegraphing that to me really hard, and maybe it's like a bait and switch, like, oh nope, it's not gonna, maybe he's gonna pull the rug out from under me. But I think Huck is Charlie. Um, and there's a couple other things that I think I picked up on. That Hoyd says, and I will agree. Like his character, like his humor, kind of sucks
Hmm.
because he's basically playing a goofball,
Right.
and he's like not his true self. Um, and this entire book, like the humor in this book seems to be more about how incompetent everyone around Tress really is, and kind of getting deep into like philosophy and uh like there's some time. The book is really strange. Like it'll go from talking about like totally childish stuff and get like then way into like philosophical like meanings of life type of
Yes.
shit. And
So
it's
I
like
actually
if you're not keeping up with it, like it like yeah, I need to start getting quotes. There was a bunch of quotes that I was
yes.
trying to write
Yeah,
down
yeah,
and
yeah.
memorize because they're really good. Yeah.
Go back and read chapter 42 again because it starts with a narration of Hoyd, the storyteller, not the the in book. And it is like, holy shit, this is like, it's about the world and the worldview and like how Hoyd himself sees this world. And then it ends with just a fart. And it's just
Yep.
like, okay, now we're back to like this being kind of a goofy type of story. But yeah, there's those moments where it's just like, damn, that's real. But
Yeah, so like the funny parts of this book is him intertwining those serious things into how silly it is that a girl is doing this to some of these people. Like
right,
that's the humor that I'm getting out of it, not the actual
right.
like the intended humor. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
and it's
I'm
just
liking it.
like,
I think I'm a little
these,
warmer on it right now than you are, but we'll see when I get through it.
yeah, yeah, the ending, and we can talk about that. Like, there's a couple things that happens at the end that I was just like, eh. But then there's a kind of a big thing that I think when it happens, you need to pull the ebook out because there is a visual with it that like you should have that ready. Like when you enter the last chapter, you should pull it up on your phone or whatever and just have it ready because there's something,
Yeah.
obviously something big happens at the end of this book, right? It's every fucking
Right,
book that he
right.
does. Um and it's right before the prologue. Um or epilogue or whatever. Um yeah, so was that it? Anything else about Tress?
Yeah, no other books. Yeah, Tress is all I'm reading right now.
Okay.
Yeah, when I get through that.
I finished
Oh,
Mistborn 4.
you finished? Fuck.
um that was a damn good book.
Okay.
Um you know, I I like Waxilium. I like Wayne. Um I don't know why I'm blanking on the girl character. Well, there's two. Um and there's a couple other characters. There's a villain, obviously. And then that's kind of it. Like you get to know characters kind of come and go from it. Um but there's really a small group of characters and I like that about it. It's completely different. It is more
Right.
steampunk, and I guess like this quadrilogy wrapped up, but he's going to do another series of Mistborn,
Yes.
and I've heard, spoiler, that it's going to be Starlight like he's going to
Right.
explore the universe of Mistborn and not just this world that they're in. Um,
Right.
it's crazy how um, hmm, uh, I don't want to get into this, but it's crazy how the first three books is like this big epic. I mean, everybody fucking dies. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
wild how all of
Yeah.
that takes like all that takes shape. So then this is set like 300 years after, where people are, discovering new magic and new metal. I mean, I can say that because the last book is called The Lost Metal, so obviously they found yet another metal, but they're playing with
Yeah.
different metals, and there are no characters that are Mistborn. At least that what I know of so far. That's kind of a spoiler, I think. Um, but like the main characters just have like two things that they can do, and they're not great at it, and
Yeah.
that's
So they're more like Mistings than Mistborns.
yeah.
Yeah.
So and that's kind of the cool thing. So like one of the characters, his thing is he can like drop a bubble, and as you're in the bubble, time slows down by like a lot. So
Okay.
things outside of the bubble are happening in real time, but you can almost like have a little huddle inside this
Right.
bubble and kind of like figure shit out. Like, what are we gonna do
It's a
here?
tactics game. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. And that's really really cool. And then Waxilium, he's more like he can kind of like use the coins. What is that? Not a coin shot. He's rich. Uh, damn it. He can like push and pull off metal. Um,
He burns steel. Yeah.
yeah. So what is that? He's he's not a
Um.
coin shot because that's something
No.
else. He can burn
Coin shots can
pewter
only.
and things
Yeah.
like that.
Coin shots can only push coins. I no. No. They can push and pull. Yeah. Coin shots can push and pull metal.
Okay, then maybe that's what he is.
The ones that burn pewter was like ham. I don't remember what they call them, thugs or something.
No, yeah, no, he's not that. But he's like, it's whatever Vin was like before she found out she was. Oh no, because she was.
He was always a Mistborn.
I
Yeah.
know, but what was like her first thing that she figured out was how to like
Soother.
soothe her. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So no, it wasn't that, but so he can basically push and pull metal. That's kind of like what his thing is. Um, and man, it was just a really cool story. I can't wait for the fifth to read the fifth one. Um, but I'm being cheap. I'm borrowing books from Libby, and Libby's like, "Hey, Malice is available for you," which is John Gwynn's The Faith and the Fallen series. So I got that, and I'm just barely into that one, but it seems like it's going to be this epic story, which people compare it to, Game of Thrones or something like that. So really
Right.
brutal. Seems like I just feel like I mean he kicks the shit out of you when like
Yeah.
that's how the
Yeah.
Bloodsword saga is. Um, but back on Mistborn 4, like I think you'll really like that book. It's very intimate. I like that world. There's so many good little callbacks to the original
Oh.
trilogy.
Oh man.
Uh,
That's
and
all I
and
need to know.
and just like they just the way that they regard what happened is really cool. Like I can't wait for you to read it.
Oh boy. Okay.
And my memory sucks, so it might be one of those things that like I start reading like these synopsis and stuff as you're reading it because I want to be able to like have these conversations with you about it. But um, damn it, I want to say okay, never mind. So anyway, I'm also reading a couple manga. So I've read the first Chainsaw Man. It's fine, and I finally picked back up on Berserk, which is very brutal, crazy, and it's like some of the most malicious manga that you could read. It's wild.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm also listening to a book. I'm listening to the if Ashley listens to this, she'll get mad. The Apothracene, I think, review, which is written by the guy that did The Fault in Our Stars and
Oh, okay.
Turtles All the Way Down. He's a big TikToker. I think his name is Hank Green.
Oh, I know that name.
Yeah. And so he essentially just put this book together and is reviewing stuff. He just reviews a bunch of stuff. And it's anywhere from Diet Dr. Pepper to the Notes app. And he reviewed something that kind of hit me pretty hard, which is viral meningitis. So viral meningitis is actually something that I had when I was in 8th grade, and I was in a hospital for 5 days with it. And just like he kind of paints it, the headache that you have like makes you feel like you're dying. And it was wild. Like my wife told me about this and I just kind of forgot. So when she recommended this book to me, he's just like, all right, now we're going to talk about viral meningitis. And I was like, what? Like, you don't hear anyone ever talk about it. Now I randomly have this book where he gives it a review and he gave it 1 star. So,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, pretty good book. So do you do the Goodreads challenge?
As far as like how many books you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't set it for this year
Oh,
though.
okay.
Yeah.
I read
Yeah.
34 last year. I set it for 35 this year. So I'm gonna try to one up
Okay.
myself a little bit.
Yeah, I might try to go 30 or 25. We'll
Okay.
see.
All right.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
All right. What else? What else you got on here?
Oh boy. Yeah. So I've been riding my bike a lot more here over the past month and a half
Mhm.
on the trainer here in my basement. So that means I've been watching a lot of Clone Wars. Um, I had left off like in the middle of season 5, and now I am at the 3rd episode of season 7.
So are
So
they still 24 episode seasons or have they cooled it a little bit?
no,
Okay.
no. Season 5 is the last 24 episode season.
Okay.
I think season 6 and season 7 are like 10 to 12 or something like
Oh,
that.
cool.
I burned through season 6 in like fucking a week.
Yeah.
Like not that long because they're only 22 minutes long.
Sure.
Um, man, boy. The end of season 5 is I'm having a hard time remembering a movie or TV show that I got that emotional.
Really?
And I know that's really weird of a grown man to say about a Star Wars
No,
cartoon.
I don't think so at all.
But yeah, the way season 5 ends is pretty fucking rough, man. Like, and it's all things that I knew were going to happen,
Sure.
but didn't understand how they happened. Um, uh, it just rips your fucking heart out, man. And then season 6 really like it's almost like I didn't watch this real time, obviously,
Mhm.
so I don't know what the like production was like, but it was almost like they finished season 5 and were like, all right, we got to finish this fucking show because it just goes gas pedal. Like season 6 is just a roller coaster. Like every episode's fucking money, and like it's just like all right, we're gonna explain to you some Order 66 shit. Like you want to know how this shit happened? Like we're gonna explain that to you right now. It's like fucking whoa, man! Like this is some big shit. We're gonna talk about here. Um, and then it just keeps going. Like the last like 6 episodes of season 6 um are crazy. Like they explain stuff about the Star Wars universe that this is the only place it's explained that I'm aware
Oh.
of that I didn't know, and I'm plugged into this shit. Um, and then it jumps right into season 7, and season 7 is the new one that they finally made. Like I can't imagine getting into season 6 and then having like I don't know how many years it was until they made season 7.
How new are we
Um,
talking?
it was like 2 or 3 years ago, like 2 years ago.
Wow.
Like it released on Disney Plus. Like it didn't exist before Disney Plus. Yeah,
Huh.
it's the new animation. It's same voice actors, all that stuff, but it's the much newer animation. Kind of the same stuff they're using now for the Bad Batch. And actually, the
Mm.
first couple episodes of season 7 introduces you to the Bad Batch. Um, so they're fucking awesome. I can't wait to watch Bad Batch now. Uh, but yeah, so I'm like 3. I'm on episode 3 or 4 of season 7 now. Um, yeah, can't fucking wait to finish that and get into Bad Batch. But man, yeah,
Hold
that
on, isn't there one that you're supposed to watch after the Clone Wars?
Rebels would be the next one. I might actually watch that. I don't know how many seasons that is.
Okay.
But yeah, that'll be next on my list. But
Wow.
I might be able to watch Bad Batch before that. I don't know. I'll have to see what the rules are. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't get in trouble.
Right.
But man, yeah, Clone Wars is just better than it has any right to ever be, and like I can't wait to like rewatch it with my kids once they're kind of interested in it, which they're getting there. I think they would start to get interested in it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's so good. It's so good.
What's your kids think of your Steam Deck? They care?
Uh, they they just have not shown like a real interest in games.
Mm.
But I have a 7-year-old who, probably could be, and a 4-year-old. She's not quite old enough yet to really be
Yeah.
interested in it.
Right.
The 7-year-old kind of we played that Lego game like on my computer, but she's way more into makeup and
Mm.
dancing and like that kind of stuff right now.
Sure.
Like she came home one time and she's like, "Dad, I want to play Roblox." And I was like, "No, we're not playing Roblox. We're not going down that road.
Yeah.
Like there's other stuff that I'll let you play, but I'm not letting you play
Right.
Roblox. Not happening."
Yeah. You got to beat Super
Um,
Mario World before you can have access to
well,
that.
it's like that game is more, it's less a game than it is an addiction for like most kids. Like I see some kids that are like just walking around with their parents, like, and they're just got their fucking iPad
Yeah.
and they're just playing Roblox, and it's just like, yeah, I don't want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I've got some plans to like use the Steam Deck to kind of introduce her to some stuff.
Yeah. Let me know
Um,
her first run on Vampire Survivors. See how far she
right? Yeah,
gets.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She'll like that. She'll like that quite a bit. Yeah. But yeah, that's the only TV stuff that I've been watching. Is Clone Wars.
I have a show to recommend you. You
Okay.
need to watch Kaleidoscope.
Okay.
All right, and you know anything about it?
Nope.
All right, so it's about a heist. Uh,
Okay.
it stars Giancarlo Esposito, which you
Yep.
know him from such fame as Far Cry 6. And so the cool thing about this show is, first off, it's very well acted. I absolutely loved it. We burned through it in like 2 days. I took like a lunch break and watched an episode of it. Um,
Yeah.
we the thing is it's about a heist that takes place over 24 years, and
Oh, okay.
um, each episode is a point in time, and you can watch the episodes in any order,
Oh, weird.
and it works. So each episode is a color, and so you could watch like red and then blue and then white if you wanted to. Now they recommend you to always watch white last, because white.
You're starting to lose me now.
Hold on.
Yeah, I'm not into this like Twin Peaks. Like if you start such and such episode at 11:30 at night, like at midnight,
Oh,
it'll somebody will say
right.
something like I.
It's not like that. It's not like that at all.
Okay.
So each episode is a point in time where it's like, okay, the red episode is 4 days before the heist. The pink
Okay.
episode is 24 years before the heist. So then it's almost like, well, I know this episode, I'm just going to get some backstory on like how these characters met for the first time or something. And then there's an episode that takes place 6 months after the heist. So then you know, like, well, some stuff happened during the heist. What happened after the heist, really? Like, there's still something
Right.
there. But there's some really good there's a lot that happens really good moments, some cool action. Um, we actually watched it, and so Netflix has like some recommended orders to watch it. So we actually watched a rainbow order. So we actually watched it as red, orange, yellow, green, blue, technically pink, purple, white. And it was really cool how like the narrative started like dishing its way out a little bit. It's almost like watching a Tarantino film where
Yeah, it sounds like I'm getting a vibe that it's like up its own ass a lot.
it's not
And
though.
maybe a little pretentious.
It's really not. I promise you
Mm,
it's not. You should
okay.
watch the trailer for it anyway.
Okay.
We absolutely loved it, and I don't really care for pretentious shit, even though I probably do watch a lot of pretentious ass TV. Um, but it was I loved it, and it came out like right at the new year, so it was we've already watched a 2023 show. Um, I highly recommend that. We did watch The Glass Onion, which is the um oh my gosh, what's the first one called?
Knives
Uh
Out.
Thank you. Yes. Um that was pretty good. Um it's that's pretentious ass TV. I will say that
Yeah.
if you want
Yep.
to if you want to see something pretentious. Um if you like the first one, you would like this one. I thought it was a fun movie. Um Still watching anime. I still have the last episode of Chainsaw Man to watch. Haven't finished that. We just watched an episode of Spy Family earlier. Um, that's been pretty good. I think we hit episode 100 on Dragon Ball Super. Um,
Oof.
we're almost done with that show. I'm so ready for it to be over. Um, and then White Lotus, which is another HBO show that just wrapped up its second season. Pretentious ass TV. So yes, I will agree. I do watch pretentious ass TV. Kaleidoscope is not though. It's good.
Okay.
Um, I think that's all I have. Um,
You need to watch Andor.
oh no, we're back on our Celebrity Jeopardy kick, dude. Fucking Michael Cera, he pulled out a win. I couldn't believe it. Michael
Mm,
Cera won.
no.
That
You
was
gotta
good.
watch Andor and Prisoners.
Yeah, Prisoners is on our list, and I'll see if I can't get Ashley to watch Andor. If I can't get her on board watching TV, my downtime is pretty much video games and books. So I don't watch a
Yeah.
lot of TV without her. So um, we have a couple news posts here. What's this one about Starfield? Or hold on, I'm sorry. Did you have anything else?
No.
Okay.
Nope. Nope.
Um,
Nope. Nope.
so we got some news about Starfield. Looks like Xbox is going to have a showcase
Yeah.
coming up soon. What's going on here?
Yes, they announced a couple days ago that on January 25th they're going to have an event, a developer event where they were going to show off. Let's see here. It was going to be Elder Scrolls Online, the new Forza Motorsport game, Minecraft
Mm.
Legends, and then Redfall. And then the collective internet went, but where's Starfield? Why isn't Starfield on here? And then for about a week, everybody started losing their mind and complaining. And then somebody at Microsoft was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do our Starfield's gonna get its own show like after this.
Oh,
Like we're gonna do a whole Starfield fucking thing at some point in the near future." Um, but I put that on here because I mean 2023 is fucking packed with video games
yes.
at this point. So it's gonna be interesting to see how everybody starts to kind of get them out there. Like, okay,
Shift.
here's all
Yeah.
these games that we've been fucking talking about forever.
Right.
Like, when we still don't know when like Redfall is going to release yet. Um, like it, across the board, like everybody's like waiting for all these shoes to drop, and I'm sure stuff's going to get pushed around too once some of these bigger games get their dates. Um, but yeah, yeah. So that'll be interesting to see. I wonder if Sony will do something similar in the spring. Um, yeah,
I so yeah, and so going off what you just said, the fact of like when things are going to start shipping, I did not know Skull and Bones was pushed that far. Uh,
Yeah, so Ubisoft is in dire straits at the moment.
yeah.
Um, Mostly it says because Just Dance 2023 and Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hopes like really underperformed.
Hmm.
And so now they're looking to restructure. They didn't release a Assassin's Creed game last year. Um,
Right.
so they're Skull and Bones is supposed to come out this year.
Yeah.
But I guess it's been delayed again. I mean, that game has existed for fucking 8 to 10 years at this point.
Yeah.
That game came about after Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Like it was built on that same tech of the like ship battles because it's another Ubisoft game. Like that's how old
Wow.
Skull and Bones is. Like it was a couple years. It was like a year or so after Black Flag came out that like Skull and Bones got announced, and then it just went away. And then Microsoft announced Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves came out because they're both
Oh my
pirate games,
gosh.
and then Skull and Bones still hasn't come out.
How many
But
Assassin's
then,
Creed games have released since
oh my
then?
god, like 1,000. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, fucking 1,000 hours of them between Origins and Odyssey
Yeah.
for
And
sure. Yeah,
Valhalla.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I will Google when Skull and Bones was
That
announced.
surprise. Okay, so while you're looking that up, that surprises me about.
E3 2017. Jeez, yeah,
Oh, so. Wow,
five
okay, so
years
that's
ago.
yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Dang. And it's been in development for quite a while before
Oh yeah,
then. So,
yeah, yeah.
geez.
Long time,
So this
long
says
time.
the new target looks to be early 2023 or 24.
Whew.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, they like may have pushed that to. Oh, okay. So this means fiscal year. The soonest we'll see Skull and Bones now will be April of 2023 and as late as December of this year. So
Right.
could still be this calendar year. But
Right.
I don't
Yeah.
know, man. I think if I know like Starfield is supposed to be first half, right? Isn't that what they said? Like,
Yeah. The last news story that we got was Redfall was going to come first, but Starfield was still going to be sometime in the first half. So
okay.
you would think Redfall would be like March,
Yeah.
sometime in there, and then Starfield's going to hit April, May.
Right.
Maybe June. Maybe June.
Yeah.
You know.
Um
Yeah.
Interesting. So I actually when we were like putting notes together for the show, I was like, well, I'd like to talk about some stuff that's coming out this year. And then I realized, wow, I have a lot to talk about. Maybe we won't be able to fit that in. Um, but I did put like the upcoming games that are coming until our next episode, which is actually something we used to do for a while. Um,
Yeah.
so nothing really stuck out, at least for January. So if you remember January of last year, we had like two, at least to me, two really good games, which was Nobody Saves the World and Pokemon Legends. Those
Yep.
were both pretty highly regarded in the community. So um, this year is looking pretty bare. We haven't really received anything yet. And until our next episode, the things being released is a One Piece game, which I'm just not part of that world, so I don't really care about. Um, I did have to look up what the Colossal Cave is, and it looks like it's a point and click adventure. There is the
Okay.
space for the Unbound. Persona 4 and 3 are coming out. Those are the portable versions. So Golden was the PSP version, and P3P is the or I'm sorry, Persona 4 Golden may have been the Vita version. P3P would
Right.
be the PlayStation Portable. Those are both coming out on the 19th, and those will also be released on Game Pass. Fire Emblem Engage comes out on the 20th, and I think a lot of people that really clicked with the three houses are not too happy with the decision here. Where the three houses, it has a lot of relationship building, and it seems like
Right.
Engage is strips that out.
Ooh.
So Three
Okay.
Houses
I thought
seems
that's
like
what
it was.
Fire Emblem was all about.
Yeah, it seemed like Three Houses was pretty well regarded. And I don't know if it's just a timing thing where they feel like they have to get something out, so they stripped out a lot of that, which probably saves a lot of time and writing and approving and things like that. So the new Engage game is going to be a little more just tactics heavy and not so much in the um, relationship building and story building and things like that. I don't know what Warlander is that comes out the 24th, but also Forspoken.
Yeah, that's the big PlayStation release, and I think it comes out on PlayStation.
Comes out on
Yeah,
PC
PS5 and PC.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I for some reason I don't even know really what this game is though.
Oh, you've seen it before. It's
I've
got
seen
a
it, but
female protagonist.
oh,
Protagonist. It's like an open world. Yeah, open world magic. Yeah,
it's a
looks a
Square
little
Enix
generic.
game. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Like how I'm cutting this off a little bit.
Yeah, Warlander looks like a third-person tactics game or
Oh
something.
yeah. Yeah,
Maybe.
124. Oh,
Uh,
I can download the demo for Forspoken now if I want to.
yeah, yeah, that came out before the holidays. Yeah.
Oh, it's got parkour. So is it going to be like you think like Dying Light a little bit? Is that kind of what it looks like?
I wouldn't say it's that far.
Okay.
No.
Oh, I might have to check that out. Okay. What else? What else do we have? Anything else happening?
Uh, as far as news goes, I did see that the Subnautica developers did confirm they're building another Subnautica, and
Oh,
it's going to be in Unreal. It's going to be in Unreal Engine 5.
ooh,
So
I bet that would look good.
maybe that comes out this year. I don't know.
Oh,
We'll see.
that second
Yeah.
one came straight to Game Pass, didn't it?
Oh man, I don't know
Okay.
actually. I feel like it probably did.
Hmm. Those games are cool.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I've never really gotten into one
right.
like fully. Um, but yeah, they have quite the following. That's for sure.
So, what are you looking forward to the next couple weeks? You're going to finish Tress. You know what book you're going to pick up? You're going to finish that pretty quickly. What are you going to read
I
next?
keep I keep saying I'm gonna get away from fucking Brandon Sanderson, but now I want to read Mistborn
Hey,
4.
you should read Mistborn 4. It's pretty good.
And yeah, that's probably what will happen.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll probably read that. Keep playing this fucking Steam Deck, and
What a good idea.
yeah, I
What a
know.
good idea to own
Great,
a Steam Deck, you know?
great.
Don't you just
Comes with a little
feel
carrying case.
yeah,
It's great.
it's an exclusive carrying case. Only
Yes,
you are part of an elite club with only that carrying case. Like I feel a little
exactly.
better than a lot of people like owning a Steam Deck, you know?
Yeah,
I do. I love it. It's
yeah.
a really
It's
good piece of tech.
it is a luxury item, I will say.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely did not need this thing at all.
No, not at all. Yeah, like once I got it, and my wife is like, "So you just play the same games on that as you play on your computer?" It's like, yeah,
Yeah, and they
yeah,
run
it's great.
worse. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I was like, yeah, I don't have to buy any more games. Like I just play all the
You're
games I
like
already have. She's
scratching
just
your
like,
neck, wide-eyed. Like, I
yeah,
love it.
she's just like, I mean, we've been together so long. She's just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't
Right.
make any sense, but yeah, that's fine. Whatever, it's fine. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us. Tangled up in cords here. Switch this here. Thank you all so much for watching, for listening, for streaming this tonight. If you want to check out any of our past shows, you can go to bitpunch.tech. And if you want, you can send us an email at emails@bitpunch.tech. If you want to follow us, you can follow us on Twitter at bitpunch. You can check out our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/bitpunch. You can check out our archive streams at our YouTube channel at /user/bitpunch. And check out our newsletter at bitpunch.substack.com. All of these links can be found on our website at bitpunch.tech. And that is going to do it for us tonight. We will be back on the 25th for full spoilers on Tress and whatever else we're in the middle of then. So check us out then. Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
And we will be back in a couple weeks. Have a good night.